And how does it feel as a founder or a co-founder to actually have the ability to make changes yourself?
It's very empowering. I mean, right now to see it implemented, but also in the future, I think it will be very important for us to have this knowledge. So whenever we talk to the people that are building this, that we also know what's possible, what's not, how long does it really take. So yes, it's very empowering and motivating to be able to do it ourselves.
What's going on, everybody? It's Jan here from 9X, and in today's video, I'm going to have the pleasure of being joined by Alejandra from Fixit. Now, Alejandra is going to share her story as a non-technical co-founder whose startup decided to build their MVP, their minimal viable product, completely in no code and leveraging the power of AI and automation. So if that's interesting, stick around and let's get into the conversation. Hey Alejandra, how's it going?
Hi, good. How are you, Jan?
Very good, very good. Great to see you again, and thanks so much for coming on. Maybe we can get started for the people watching, if you can give a quick introduction. So you're the co-founder of Fixit. What does Fixit do, and what is it that you're trying to achieve?
Yes, so we are at Fixit are in the handyman industry. We are trying to find a solution for small household repairs. So here in Germany, it's super tough to find a plumber, carpenter, everything for small stuff at home. And we are building a solution that basically consists of automated diagnosis plus video consulting with professionals to make it cheaper and less time consuming for tenants.
Amazing. And maybe a bit more on the company background. So how many is it? You've got some co-founders as well. And also how long ago did you guys start working on this project?
Yes. So yes, it's three of us, Sarah, Jill, and myself. We met 2 years ago during our master's program here in Berlin, and it all started as an entrepreneurship course. And then it became a real thing thanks to the Startup Incubator Berlin. We went through a program, and now we're in the second one with Airtable University. So we've been fully committed to the project for 1 year now. And it's us three co-founders, and now we have a UX designer, and three handymen that are professionals in their fields. So we're very excited about bringing them to a team. Besides that, we have a part-time CTO that is helping us navigate the tech part of the product because we don't have a lot of background in the tech side. So yes, that's the team for now.
Perfect, very cool. And so you mentioned there one key thing that between the three co-founders, you were not really having any sort of tech background, so your backgrounds are mostly in business?
Yes, we come, myself, I come with marketing background. Zara's background is in finance, and Jill comes with purchasing, all the procurement, and a lot of operations. So the business side is well covered, but the tech side is something that we've been working on closing those gaps.
Perfect. And so obviously you're getting started with this journey, building your product. So what made you choose no code for your MVP?
I guess exactly that. On one side, we wanted to be as efficient as possible with the tools we had in the team. As a startup, you cannot just go and hire the most expensive CTO and a full team of developers. So we needed to do something that we could do among ourselves. And also to be able to test and iterate as necessary as fast as possible at the beginning. So I guess those two things were what made us go through that path instead of coding everything from the beginning.
Yeah, perfect. And so you mentioned there in the product that it's really about connecting sort of like homeowners or residential, let's say, customers who may have a problem with professional handyman. What are you trying to sort of solve or prove in this MVP phase? Is it that they're jumping on a video call, that they're sort of just connecting the two together? What were you sort of trying to achieve when you set out in building this first MVP to sort of take it to market?
So we have two main hypotheses to test. First, that we can actually work with the automated diagnosis that the professional handy person will trust. And the other is that the issues can be solved through a video call. So we are doing now this testing to see if we really can help fix a leaking pipe or something with a phone and a video call and some recommendations that we send before the call.
Amazing. I'm very, very excited to check out the demo. Maybe before we jump in and show everyone exactly what you guys were able to build in just 6 weeks, which is already super impressive. Maybe you can just go over some of what were the tools, main tools that you used in building this MVP, so then people know what they're looking at when we jump into the demo.
Yes. So we decided to go with Softr, with Airtable for the databases, and with Fillout to complement a bit on Softr. Now, after the boot camp, we decided to do everything in Softr instead of Fillout, because now we moved to a better program on Softr. So now we're able to do all of our forms there. So yeah, those are the two main tools that we're using: Softr, Airtable, also Google for the calls and the calendars. What else? Yes, I think those are the tools that we're using at the moment.
Amazing. So on that, so it was basically Airtable's sort of the backend database, is that right? Yes. And then you're using Softr to build the app on top, and originally with some more let's say specific forms on Fillout, but now using the Softr forms as well.
Exactly. Yes. And what's very good about Softr is that it's not just a website creator, but it's also it lets you manage the people that are working there, so they can create a profile, log in, see their tasks, manage their tasks. So that's very useful for us for the handyman side.
Yeah, amazing. All right, so then I guess without any further ado, let's jump in and check out the demo.
Sure. Okay, let me share my screen then. So for the purpose of the demo, I'm gonna have a split screen. On the left side, we're gonna see the professional portal, and on the right side, we're gonna see what the normal tenant user is seeing. So they first go to our landing page. They can check what we do, how it works, and when they wanna solve an issue, they go and click on Let's Fix It. They start filling out our form. So in this case, let's say that they have a problem with their walls, they wanna paint them. Okay, they can also upload images, video, or audio, which is very relevant for the automatic diagnosis afterwards. Click on next. They tell us their data, how they prefer to be contacted, so let's say email, and they submit the request. So the first thing that happens is they get an email confirming that we got their repairman request. And also, this is reflected on the professional portal. So it appears here. So here now
on the professional portal, sorry, that we have there on the left, that's basically like a logged in area only for handymen?
Yes. They log in and they can see their new requests, what the jobs that they have accepted but they haven't diagnosed, and their upcoming call.
Very cool.
So now he has the new request and he can see the details and see that Alejandra needs to paint her wall. And they say, okay, I'm interested in the job. So they accept and then they submit the diagnosis. So here's where our AI starts playing a role. With all the information that the user gave us, we are able to provide a AI-generated diagnosis to the professional to save them some time. So they check it, and whatever they think is relevant to share with the user, they can just copy-paste or fine-tune whatever they think is necessary. So let's say that they think that with this is enough. And what's interesting is that they can also see the level of confidence. So in this case, based on what the user sent us, because they shared a picture, they shared further details, it's very clear what the problem is. So we have a 9 out of 10 level of confidence. So this means that not a lot of fine-tuning needs to be done.
This is a really, sorry, Alejandra, just a really nice way of actually using AI in this case, because a lot of people are tempted now to just have AI make a diagnosis and send it straight to the user. But here you're comparing having the best of both worlds, that you have this level of expertise of a handyman who's been in the industry for probably 20, 30 years, but then giving them the power of AI that they can make their job a lot faster. It's really amazing.
Yes, it's more efficient for them, but they still feel like they're in control of whatever they're sharing with the user. So for the tools, they can also decide what they think it's necessary. Maybe they don't think a paint welder and a tray is necessary, so they say that tools, this is what they need. And maybe they also want the primer and will prefer painting. Okay, so now they send it. And this triggers an email to the user saying that we got their free repair diagnosis. So now they can see the summary, the explanation, what they're gonna need for their repairments. And whenever they're ready with the tools and parts, or if they know that they will be able to have everything for, let's say, the next day, they go ahead and they schedule the call. This calendar is linked to the professional calendar.
Oh, wow.
So every time we get a request, it's matched with the right type of professional. In this case, with all the painters that we have. And once a painter selects the job, his calendar is linked to the order. So the person is able to schedule based on the professional's availability. So they decide to reserve for tomorrow. It triggers a confirmation email with the data for the video call. So for tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. At the same time, this also triggers the change. So instead of being on undiagnosed jobs, now it's changed to upcoming calls.
Wow.
Now it's here in upcoming calls. And when the time comes, they can just join the call. They do the repairment. And once they're done repairing the painting, in this case, they finish the call, and they can go here and say that the call ended and give us their input on how it went. So in this case, we were able to fix the issue, and this triggers a final email on the customer side asking for their feedback also.
Very cool.
So in this case, they were able to repair. So of course, they're very happy.
Now, it's really great to see that you're covering sort of both ends of the feedback, because what you mentioned before, that the really one main goal of this MVP is to understand, like, are people even going to be able to repair this sort of stuff over a video call, and making sure you're capturing that feedback not only from the handyman, but also from the person who booked the call is going to be very, very useful data for you to capture.
Yes, exactly. So we're doing this. Plus, with this first customers, we're also scheduling some feedback calls afterwards with our UX designer. So we are very clear on what went well and what could have been better. So we have this like written data that we can use also in the future to see how it changes, but also this immediate feedback that we're getting from them.
Yeah, that's amazing. Just like to go over like everything you just covered there, that it's a logged in experience, first of all, from the handyman. So you've already built like a logged in portal where we can see it live updating whenever they're accepting the job or submitting their diagnosis, and also automated emails going back to the customer so they're informed of every step. How much of this did you think was possible before you started building this? And maybe a question, because you mentioned that you do have a part-time CTO that joined, but in terms of building what we've just seen, was that mostly done by you and your co-founders, or using the help of the CTO that joined later?
No, everything was done by us, and one of my co-founders and I, and also with the help of our UX designer. So no technical person was involved in this. And maybe to answer your question about if we thought it was possible, we definitely thought it was possible, but with months of work and with very expensive software developers, we know what we wanted, but we really didn't know where to start. So with this like 6-week bootcamp, it was very clear, like the path on what to build first. And this, of course, is a very simple version of how we see the product in the future, but it's just enough to be able to test.
Yeah, that's super nice. Should we take a look at the back end? I'd love to see the Airtable, what's going on behind the scenes.
Yes. So now going to where the magic happens. We have everything in Airtable. We have a bunch of tables, but where we are like connecting everything is the orders table. All the information is here, and also all of our automation are connected to the table. One thing that I would like to highlight, and also going back to your question about us thinking if it was possible or not, we were so excited about learning how fast we could start using AI for our product. Again, it's of course a very basic version of it, but we are already learning from it. So about the diagnosis, it's connected with the issues that the users are presenting, and with all the information that it's gathered, we generate the diagnosis with AI, and we update the record of automated diagnosis. And once that's done, the same happens with the tools and parts. So the tools and parts are connected to the diagnosis that it was generated by AI also.
Awesome. Hey guys, just a quick break from the video to let you know in the description below, we've left a link to our free crash course on no-code AI and automation. It'll give you everything you need to get started. We'll lay out all the different no-code tools, some of our favorites. So definitely check the description below and get started. Can we take a look at the prompt? I'd be super interested to see if we look at the generate with AI step. It's awesome.
Yes, so it's a bit long, but we are telling it who they are. It is an AI assistant tasked to provide a possible diagnosis. We tell it which variables it should take in consideration. So the specialty, the kind of facility, the issue, the further details. And then we tell it what to do with that information, and then what's the output that we want from that. So based on their analysis, and then we give it the structure of the answer. So the summary, the explanation, the level of confidence.
Very cool. And what we saw at the top there, so you're basically able to put in dynamic content from what the user put in and inject that into your prompt, basically. And that's the way that AI can give this very specific diagnosis for each of the user's issues.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's connected with each of the variables.
Awesome. Very cool.
Thank you. And I think that's it. That's the main part of the product. We can also see here all the emails that are happening back and forth, how we send everything to Softr and back. And yes, that's it. Yeah. That's our
So it's really, it's really amazing to see, because what you're doing here is you really are becoming like a full stack developer in a way, right? You've got everything, all your back end flows, your automations running in Airtable. You're quickly able to make front end changes in Softr. Do you feel like in this process of you building it that you also have learned more about how software works, even though you're building in no code?
Yes, definitely. I think it gives like mental structure on what should be done first, and how to do some stuff. And of course, it's very, very simple, but in order to have certain styles or to be able to connect, right now, for example, we're working on the translation, and you need to use very, very basic custom code. So you need to learn just a little bit, but really coming from a marketing person, it's totally possible. And it's very exciting to also feel like you're learning something new every day. You're enhancing your own product.
That's amazing. And have you already had some scenarios where because you mentioned right now you're in the user testing phase, so you've got some feedback from some users, and have you already been sort of making quick, does this like whole no code setup also enable you to respond to changes faster and make changes in what you're building?
Yes, since it's our very first customers, we're learning so much from things that don't work on the first run. And we are able to change either on Airtable or on the Softr side, but it's a matter of minutes that we can see that the user is not able to, I don't know, upload a picture if they clicked on the other option, and we can fix it in a minute, and then they can go back and try again. So we are able to iterate very, very fast, and I think that makes the product development process way more efficient than than building something from scratch at the beginning.
And like, how would you summarize your experience with the different no-code tools? Was it quite daunting early on? Was it quite a challenge, or is it something that's easy to learn and sort of learning by doing? Or how did you guys approach like learning these different tools and how to use them the best way?
I think that it works like a funnel. At the beginning, it's a bit overwhelming because even if you say it's no-code tools, there are a lot out there, and a lot of them offering similar services. So you need to be very clear on what are the needs of the product. So you need to first decide which are the best ones for what you're trying to build. And then from there, I think it becomes easier to just, as you said, you work on it and you learn every day. And the more you work on each tool, you get to know it better and you become more efficient. So right now, it has become way easier. Of course, we still have challenges, and every time we try to implement something new, it's trying, but it has become more easy and also faster for us to make any changes and work with the tools that we decided to work with.
Perfect. Very cool. And how does it feel as a founder or a co-founder to actually have the ability to make changes yourself? Is that something that you've sort of also like been something that you've really found a good way with no code, or you're someone who actually prefers to be able to delegate those sort of things off?
Yes, it's very empowering. And also, I mean, right now to see it implemented, but also in the future, I think it will be very important for us to have this knowledge. So whenever we talk to the people that are building this, that we also know what's possible, what's not, how long does it really take. So yes, it's very empowering and motivating to be able to do it ourselves.
Amazing. And you mentioned there in the future, so I'm very interested to know, like, what are the next steps for Fixit? How is it going currently with the user testing, and where do you see let's say your next milestone now that the MVP has been released?
So we are testing for the next month with a small base of users. And then the next phase is to start testing with actual potential clients like House tool. That's going to be very important for us to see if now the product works in the real world and without us having to intervene. So that's the next step. And then once we are able to get all the insights and see that the product actually works, then maybe start working on mainly the AI to put it together with our internal knowledge base that we are building. Right now, we're working with professionals to build a knowledge base to make the AI more accurate in the near future. So that's the next step for us.
Amazing. Touching back on the product, so I think it's very clear to see how this is going to be so useful from a consumer point of view, the convenience of being able to schedule a call with someone and see if I can fix something myself. But how do you also see, when you're building this product, what do you also see as the potential advantages for handymen? Obviously, we already saw bringing AI into the mix to something that might be a more traditional industry, but is this going to open the possibility up for more handymen, or what's the big opportunities there?
Yes, so it's very interesting that this product not only, as you said, creates value for the users or the tenants, but also on the handyman side, we are giving them the option of working from home for the first time. And this is not only interesting for, younger generations, but also to reintegrate underrepresented groups in the industry, like permanently injured handy people or retired handy people, or people that need to take care of their kids or their parents and they need to stay home and they have all the knowledge and they haven't been able to perform their job, and now they can do it. So that's something that we are working very hard on. And now from the pool of handy people that we have some of them, like an important percentage of them are part of these groups, then it's something that we're very proud of.
Yeah, it's amazing. Awesome. Really cool. And another question with regards to the MVP bootcamp that you did, so building this in just 6 weeks, who would you recommend, what type of like founders or startups would you recommend the MVP bootcamp for?
I would recommend it to people that know what they need to build and they don't know where to start. I think it's the perfect way to have something that is tangible and test. And if you know that you have a great idea and you need to put it out there and test it, you don't need to code it from scratch in order to prove that your product is a good one. I would go for this bootcamp in 6 weeks. You have the product, you can test, and then you see if it, like how much time and money you invest into each of the features of the product.
Awesome. Well, Alejandra, thank you so much for joining us. It was amazing to see exactly what you all accomplished in just 6 weeks, building this MVP and now having it already being able to be tested on both sides of your market for the handyman and also the residential clients. So yeah, amazing. And we'll definitely keep a close eye on what's coming next for Fixit.
Yes, thank you, Jan. And thank you for all the learnings also during the bootcamp. Thank you for the space.
Bye. And that's all we have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions for Alejandra and the Fixit team, definitely drop them in the comments below. And also it will mean a great deal if you could like the video and subscribe to the 9X channel. But until next time, happy automating.